Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful. When the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Do you see this? Look at this chart. Are you fucking kidding me? 138? Are you kidding me? Like, we were buying it yesterday at 136.12. Is 138? Are you fucking kidding me? Seeing that number makes me mad. Not kidding. Seeing that number makes me mad. There's no way it can be 138. What the fuck? I'm catching an echo in the room. I'm like, it's bothering me. What the fuck? This is like insane. They're only putting 200 per level on the DOM in the 10-year. Are you kidding me? There's only two possibilities here now. Let's fix this. Yeah, that's a little better. There's only two possibilities here. Either one, the market is going crazy. Or B, something's going on at the banks that we don't know about. There's no way it can be 138. What was that beep I just got? Was it a long or a short? It was unclear. Unclear. Maybe a long. I think I can take that right there. Yeah. So that's my analysis. It's just... You're freaking kidding me. Start the text-to-speech here. So, on other news, I said that today was going to be a special stream. Well, I got this new microphone. And it doesn't work. I bought it off of eBay. Look, it's so beautiful. That's the way it'll be like right here. That's what you guys will see. Isn't it great? It looks so great, right? Perfect. Except for that it doesn't work. I have to return it. Hopefully they'll take it back. I don't want to take it back. Maybe I'll take it to the shop and get it repaired. It's like literally no sound comes out of it, so it must be like a loose wire or something. That or there's literally no capsule inside of here. I suppose that's possible. They're putting 130 on the inside. Look, guys, I know it's non-farms payroll, but really? How come it's not showing? Why is it? Oh, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. Well, what are we looking for on the numbers? 630. Average weekly hours, 34. Participation rate. Oh, they don't. Where is it? Average hourly earnings. We're looking for spot 3. Well, for 3%. No. Why am I getting? I've never looked at it in this particular way, and so I'm getting like, wow, there are so many numbers. Average hourly earnings, they're looking for spot 3. Payrolls, 175. Unemployment rate, 5 spot 6. Hey, Anthony, thanks for the donation again. I love that you put a good message in there because you should see it. Do you see it down at the bottom? Hey, there you go. It's right there. Attentive to sales? I'm not sure what that means. I'm not very attentive. It's a real oof, isn't it, Lucas? I just can't. This is insane. This is like no other way to put it. This is crazy. The market is like 138. That's like saying, "Hey, give me your money give me $1 million for 10 years and I'll give you you know, $10,000 back."
Winston's
Really?
mom says good morning. Speculator Seth, are you ready for perhaps a Freaky Friday? Hello and good morning, everyone.
You know what? I finally got my Lialda so that my colon is not inflamed.
Gary Rich says we can do 1 mil
good.
jobs and it won't lift these markets.
I feel so good. And I went to bed extra early. I got all the things I am on, all right? And I just don't even want to be here. Like that number, it just pisses me off. Well, we're going to get these numbers here today, and it's going to be...
Gary Rich says, did I not call the 10 years? Winston's mom says, did the baby sleep well enough? Lol.
Did you say 138?
Lucas says, be careful.
I don't know what's going to happen. This number, what I'm seeing on the screen is like, it shouldn't even be able to happen. The Federal Reserve is giving 5, is giving 0.5. And the 10-year is going to give 0.7. So that gives you literally like, less than a quarter of a point interest rate to make money off of. So you can make, a quarter of a point. That's like $5,000 or something. How do you make money doing that? Like the banking system will collapse. Why would they be pricing it that way? Something is fucking up. Like there is something that we don't know. There has to be.
Winston's mom says, I was listening to the talking heads yesterday say they think we will see a second rate cut. Maybe in 2 weeks at the next meeting.
Well, they said that there would be the market's pricing 2 more rate cuts. Which would put
Anthony Monroe says, remember
0.
what we talked about early week. Gary Rich says, I posted on Discord my feeling of where the 10 years yield was going.
I don't remember you saying that you thought the yield was going to go to.
Lucas says I was going to say the same. Lol. This doesn't smell good.
There's something's freaking wrong. I remember going to sleep and the headline was that there was cases in New York, so that's clearly why they're moving.
Anthony Monroe says recession dude.
This is not a recession, dude. Like that is not pricing
Winston's
in a
mom
recession.
says, I think the effects of this virus on the travel industry and on the supply chain is becoming more obvious to everyone.
This is like they're going well beyond like there's going to be a virus. I'm starting to think there must be pricing in something fucky going on, like a bank closures and nationalizations. Because this number does not
Gary
justify.
Rich says, I don't listen to dumb people. Global macro for life.
Okay. Here's the news. Quite a bit of volatility. No liquidity. I'll read the numbers out here when I get them. I'm getting some of them in Jigsaw, but I don't understand how to read it in that one. Balance of trade negative 45.3 versus an expected 46.1. That's not good. Non-farm payrolls 273,000 versus 175,000. That's really good. YOLO. YOLO. Well, that was a wild stop run. So that means the unemployment rate ticks down to 3.5. And average hourly earnings is spot 3 versus the expected spot 3.
Winston's mom says Deutsche Bank has been under investigation for quite some time now. Perhaps the inside scoop, the word on the street is that the investigations are yielding interesting things, potential problems.
Well, given that it's happening overnight, that does suggest that the problems are with foreign banks. Okay, there's a lot of trade going back and forth at 25.5. Sellers aren't able to push it. E-mini is moving up. Okay, now it goes. Mm-hmm. The world is falling apart.
Anthony Monroe says dominoes effects.
Myself. I don't know, man. It may not be justified. I mean, like, I understand nobody would want to be holding anything going into the weekend. That makes sense to me. About 138.
Anthony Monroe says I hope not. Lucas says TSYS doesn't care lol, already did what they wanted to do.
Right. Well, there is not really volume coming in, though. There's like... Okay. There is a little bit of selling coming in now.
Lucas says did you experience this action of the past weeks before?
No way. Nothing comparable. There's nothing comparable to this. Hey, I got it. Yay for me. So the only thing that I think is really comparable to what we're seeing right now was in February of 2018, so 2 years ago. If you guys recall, and we were streaming at the time, and there was like no liquidity in the market. But that market was fun. I thought I actually did really well in that market, and I took a lot of really small scalps on the treasuries, and I did great.
Gary Rich says 08 was like this.
2008, I wasn't looking at order flow, but it's not. I don't know. So let me back up, because one thing is like the degree to which it is moving in the E-mini every day. You know, we're getting like 1,000 points on the Dow every day. And I don't really know how, you know, it's about 100 points in the S&P 500, right? I've definitely seen that before. And when I see it moving around like this, that it means that we're close to a low. Like, I would expect that we could move lower and maybe make a new low and go down to another spot and do that a little bit and come back, and you get this like extreme volatility. and then that's like the money switching hands, and then it can recover.
Uzi Knesset says it does feel climactic. Anthony Monroe says France is entering in phase 3 because of the virus. In other word, they are only taking about extremes cases.
So I need to pull up a really large chart, okay, to try kind of show you guys what I'm talking about.
Gary Rich says it's not so much the percentage swing but the velocity of it. Rip up, rip down.
Yeah, now the way that the stop runs are just like screwing everybody over is kind of...
Okay. IDK says is that the NASDAQ or DAX? Ha 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 ha.
Right. Okay.
Gary Rich says did you read the short sellers made 50 billion so far?
Sure that lots of people made money on both sides. Okay. So do you see this? Sideways. Goodish. All right. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it reminds me of. I don't remember trading the treasuries. Or, I mean, I wasn't trading order flow at the time, so I can't tell you what that would be. But what I'm seeing in the E-mini looks like this. Which means they go a little bit lower and then sideways. And then maybe there's this, but then there's other possibilities, right? Dun, 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 dun. Let's see here. I think we want the one from 2011. Yeah, this one right here. No, wait, is that it? I don't know if that's really the one that we want. Sure. We can make the treasuries a little bit smaller here. Okay. So here again. Okay.
Moon says how long have you been trading in the futures market?
4 years. I've been watching markets since 2008 is what got me interested in markets, but I haven't been watching, and I've always been watching the charts and futures, but I haven't been watching order flow until the past 4 years. So for, when I'm looking at like how it trades, short-term scalps and the liquidity and all of that sort of a thing, I can't really compare. But in terms of like the day-to-day action and the chart, I've been looking at this every day since 2008. I'm obsessed. So that's what that looks like to me. You have this down. We could go lower today or next week. And then you kind of get this super zigzaggy stuff for 2 weeks. And then a little bit more of a recovery. Then this is just a dead cat bounce. And then there's this decision point where it can go either way. And every time we get to this spot,
Winston's mom says Reuters, the driver is the equity markets and the collapse in U.S. bond yields this week, said Kenneth Brew, FX strategist at Societe Generale. It's been a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, knee-jerk reaction. This is always a spot where everybody says it's all over.
Winston's
and then
mom
we
says what we have now
it.
is a reversal simply on the declining U.S. equities and the compressing differential. FRX, Reuters.
Okay. Here it is
Anthony
again.
Monroe says sounds like the virus is the trigger for the next big one.
See it? Crazy. Okay, and then maybe you go lower, maybe you don't. The last one we looked at, it did that, right? This one, it went lower. Again, everybody panicked and freaked out, and then it was fine. It was fine. That was 2016, right? Here again. We had it here more recently. Blip. Maybe it goes lower, maybe it doesn't, but then it's okay. All right. Then we had this one. This one was a little different because this one, so again, we're in here. This one was a V bottom.
Lucas says it won't be fine one day.
Okay. And then we get to here. And when you look at it from here, it's the same thing, right? So this should be down. And then here, and maybe we go lower, or maybe we do that. but then eventually it should go up to new high. That's been the pattern. But, big but. Okay. Now we're looking all the way back. All the way back. Everything that I've seen. This have no comparison. This is crazy. That is crazy. Well, one thing is that treasuries tend to do this little spiky thing. See this right here? Spike. Spike. Right? They tend to spike up.
Lucas says insane.
They're always
says
doing it
with
like
drawing
this.
skills, you could sell a Fibonacci Forex course.
Thanks.
Gary Rich says slow down in Q3 was coming. All Corona did was become the catalyst period. The 10 years, Eurodollar futures and curves painted the picture.
Anyways, you can kind of see it. Whoop, 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 whoop. They always overextend, right? Remember, well, and another thing that I want to point out, look at this versus this. This is slightly steeper than this. Okay. It's kind of a little bit difficult to tell on a chart, but it's really obvious once you get into after the 2016 election, right? Here's pretty gradual up and then goodish. Gradual up, goodish. Okay. This one is actually relatively fast up. But the point is, if you hold bonds, okay, if you buy it, like you're up here, you're an individual investor, and you're buying 138 bond. I don't know why you would do that. This is a thing that the banks do and not retail investors, but let's just say
Winston
that you are.
says everyone is rewatching that medical thriller or presciently terrifying 2011 movie Contagion about a flu outbreak starring Matt Damon. Just like in the movie, it's not the flu I worry about.
Right. But anyways, what will happen is if things are going bad, you'll make money, and slowly, as the people realize what's going on, you're making more and more money, and then all of a sudden there'll be this spot where you're making a ton of money, and then you lose it all. So like when bondholders lose money, happens very, very quickly, and that concerns me very much. Because what happens if this does this?
Winston's mom says I have been talking Fibonacci sequence since I began spending the mornings with speculator Seth. Lol.
A Fibonacci sequence is a thing. Do you guys understand why Fibonacci matter?
Algo Lover
Numbers
says
matter?
TGIF. Finish strong. HAGWE. Thumbs up.
I would be very cautious about using it in terms of like, where do we go sort of a thing. By the way, let's move that. So like the actual Fibonacci sequence to be using this. Okay, but how do I explain it? No, that's not what I want.
Lucas says I don't know. It sounds like an Italian sauce for pasta.
Okay, let me explain it this way. Why Fibonacci for when? Why Fibonacci numbers matter? Huh?
Winston's mom says I understand the mean ratio, golden spiral rules of thirds is applied to all sorts of things, but I can't quite see the patterns here yet. I am still working on all of this spreadsheety looking bars.
So let's say
Kaka Silva says hi.
Let's say that we're going to make a flower, okay? And we want to determine where we put the seeds at, okay? So we say, how often do you put a seed, okay? So say we put it every 90 degrees, right? then you'd get this every 90 degrees, right? And you would get this line like this, right? Okay. Say we want to do it every 45 degrees. Right? Then we get these spirals like this. Okay. Okay. And you would get these radial spirals like this. Okay. And while you'll notice that as you slowly change that number, the spirals kind of will curve, and then they'll straighten out, and you'll get a new line, and then they'll curve and they'll straighten out. Okay. But then you sit down and you say, well, that's not what a real flower looks like, right? So let's make it the most random that it can be, right? And you want something that looks like this, where there's no real clear lines. In fact, when you look at it, there'd be kind of like spirals like going this way and spirals going this way, right? And what would be that number? That number would be the most random number that you can get, right? Actually, let me find it here. Let me find you a better picture. I'll show you from this video. Hold on a second. Anyways, this number would be like the most random number, right? And it turns out that this number exists, and it is the golden ratio. And the golden ratio has a relation to a Fibonacci sequence. Okay. Oh, come on. Oh, it's because I'm using... there we go. Okay, like this. See, like this. So eventually you get this thing that looks like the most random. It's about around 6.3, right? Actually, want to see. Oh, come on, show it. It'll look like a sunflower, right? And you kind of will see spirals going both ways. Well, anyways, so if you sit down and you say, okay, markets are random, and it's like no matter what number I pick, they're always gonna screw me over, sort of a thing, then wouldn't it make sense to use the golden ratio as your spot, right? And so you will see the pattern. You'll definitely see the pattern, but because it's a known quantity, it gets arbitraged. So you can't really make money from doing it, but it's definitely a thing. And the way that I would use something like that is like if you do get a runner and you're looking for spots, coming back to our chart. Or do I still have it? I still have it right here. Coming back to our chart. If this comes back, where do you think it's going to come back to? Pretty good chance it's going to come back to that 50%. So if you happen to go short today and it happened to work out, where should you let it ride to? I would always think 50% or a fib number. So maybe down here, fib number. That makes sense. Now there's a second way of going through this, and this one is what was his name? It's so funny because I was researching it the other day and now I can't even remember the guy's name. Mandelbrot. That's right. This thing right here. The guy that invented fractals, well, at least the picture, like looking at the picture and everything like that. The guy that invented fractals, Mandelbrot, was doing it for markets. He was doing it for researching markets, and he believed he had found that the market has this infinitely repeating pattern, right? Because they definitely do this where it's like, yeah, there's this, but then there's also this. And so every time frame that you look at, you see the same pattern where it just kind of goes down and down and down. And that was where the Mandelbrot set came from. And so he defined that out mathematically. But when you look at what his work says, and I haven't been able to read the book, I think that's like one of the next things that's going to be on my list. His basic conclusion was that the markets are essentially perfectly random. And so even if you know the pattern, because it's unpredictable, you can't actually make money off of it. It teaches you a lot of things about the markets and you know how you can potentially trade it. But yeah, it's super interesting, right? But it's kind of funny how the what is it, that the mathematical analyses of trading basically come down to that doesn't give you a solid edge in probability to say you should buy or sell here because it's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. Let me turn the text to speech back off.
Winston's mom says Mandelbrot set. The term Mandelbrot set is used to refer both to a general class of fractal sets and to a particular instance of such a set. In general, Winston's mom says Mandelbrot set marks the set of points in the complex plane such that the corresponding Julia set is connected and not computable.
Right. Which I don't completely understand. I really need to read his book. Not even the non-farms payroll publication will mitigate the next sale. I don't know. Well, treasuries definitely came down, didn't they? Where did I take my position off at? Oh, I had a trade on MES, but I lost money, I guess. 20 half. 137 and 20 half. It was all the way down. Oh, really? Yeah, they came down and now they're back out. That's interesting. But look at the liquidity on the DOM is still untradeable. E-mini's still pretty untradeable too. I wonder where we're at with. I see. So that one could do some damage.
Winston's mom says you can watch a short YouTube video to understand this, and that's more likely to happen than for you to find time to read a book, given the new baby and everything else going on. I can link one later.
I need to find there's a math file. There's a really great channel. I should see if I can find a video from videos from them about fractals. But the problem is that the mathematics of fractals definitely ended up being a lot of stuff. But I want to know, how was he trying to apply it to markets? And like, did he actually end up making money from it, or what was the end result from that? Because it was like, it kind of sounds to me like he developed this whole new world of mathematics that to make money trading that didn't actually help him trade. Okay. You know what? I wanted to do something else. Just sitting here. How am I going to do this? Because I don't. I see that long in the E-mini. Unlike I'm saying, that one could do damage. But I'm not seeing it in the treasury, and I'm not seeing a really good opportunity. So I want to try making a chart here, okay? I want to do it on the ES. And I think we should use, well, let's use like maybe 10-minute bars, let's say. We use these candlestick plus ones. Okay. Sure. Sufficiently random? Yeah, I think so. Okay, and what I want to do, bring it down here. So I want to add on this volume.
Winston's mom says number file is one of my favorite channels.
Yeah. I really like, there's this redhead that pops up on there from time to time. I really like the way that she explains things. And she wrote a book about how to win a Monopoly, and she calculated that there are certain squares that you're statistically more likely to land on. It's super good stuff. Okay. Add a volume profile on there. Okay, but I don't want mine to be, so profile period is sessions. I want them to be on bars. There we go. Okay. So, okay. Why is it slow? Why are you being this way, bud?
Winston's mom says I just linked a 10-minute video featuring a redhead. Did the link spam? Can you see the video link?
No, you can't see the video links. You have to put spaces around it. Oh, is that as far as it'll let me zoom out? Really? Really? Wait, can I, oh, that's not what I wanted either. There's a shift, or, oh no, it's this. No. Control? Come on. That's making
Winston's
the
mom
bars
says
bigger.
HTTPS, YouTube, 4LQVJSF6SSW number file. Let's try again.
Oh, that's as thin as it'll let me make it. Oh. Okay, whatever. That's fine. That's fine. I don't necessarily need to see more than that. I really wanted to zoom it out. Wait, maybe I can do it here in the data series? Like, what if I make the part, well, it's already one. Okay, well, whatever. Okay. Now this right here, profile opacity is 40. Okay, that's okay. That's what I would like. Okay, so now I want to add it again. Order flow, volume profile. And I want this one to be bars as well. But I don't want a profile. I think it's a tick. What is that like? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Am I doing that right? Profile type tick. Let's make sure here.
Winston's mom says speculator Seth I watch Bo of the fifth column on YouTube. I have mentioned him before. I checked out his income from his videos. He is making $350K a year now.
Wow. 350K. No, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. I'll show you. I'll show you. Number file. Sort by most popular. See what we find. This one right here. Because I'm looking at her. I love the way she explains things. So this one she explains how to win at rock paper scissors. This is a video you should watch. I can link it. I'm allowed to post links. You guys aren't. You should watch that.
Speculator Seth says,
They make algorithms that beat humans. If you do like a best of 10, they'll beat the human like 60% of the time because they know what the people's tendencies are, and she explains the strategies that they use.
Winston's mom says I will watch that and save it to your playlist on my channel.
Yeah. And they markets use similar strategies, basically. Okay, when was I looking for? Ninja Trader, order flow, volume, profile. I'm trying to find it in the documentation. That's not it either. Language reference. Profile. Order flow, volume profile. There it is. Price profile. Price profiles display a block, letter, or block if underlying trades inside of a specific time window. These time windows are 30 minutes in length. If a single tick occurs inside the
Winston's
time window,
mom says speculator Seth not to alarm you, but it's entirely possible we may all have to stay home for a while, perhaps weeks. Do you have baby supplies, extra food, medical supplies at ready?
Yep. Tick profiles display the count of ticks or trades that occur at a specific price. This produces a quantity agnostic profile, which display pure trading activity, irregardless of volume. Yes, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay, so we got
Winston's mom says besides the corn dog supply you have at the ready, and don't forget to stock up on mustard.
Oh, neither of these I need to show the value area. So let's do that. Okay, so that's blue. And then I think I want the other one to be, these are tick. Let's make the profile a different color. Let's make it, can we try maybe a dark orange color? Not quite what I wanted. Or not quite what I was expecting to see. I thought that there would be some sort of a divergence between them, but they're almost the same, except for in some places the blue is a little bit more. Let's do it. Let's display it a different way. Display mode. Not Not delta, right? What happens if you do tick and it's delta? That might be weird. It's going to take it a bit for it to calculate. We were getting that long in the E-mini and it fizzled out while we were doing all that. This market kind of scares me. Ask by pool reporters if Congress needs to take more action to diminish the risk of recession. President Trump says, all we can do is what we do. Oh, all we can do is do what we do. People were shocked by jobs numbers, he said. He didn't know if a stimulus was needed per pool. That's funny, actually. Yeah, it doesn't actually do anything with delta. I want outline, I think. Yeah. Sure. Is there ever a time where there's a significant difference? Not really. Not on 10-minute bars, at least, it seems. I was hoping to see a spot where there was like a clear increase in volume, but not nearly as many trades. But that doesn't appear to be the case. That sure looks interesting. Let's come back. What happens if I change this from a tick bar to a price one? Draw mode. Oh, that would just give me the letters and boxes. I don't actually want that. Bars.
Winston's mom says, what do you understand about the golden rectangle? I know nothing. In geometry, a golden rectangle is a rectangle whose side lengths are in the golden ratio.
Yeah, that's it. It's the most pleasing looking rectangle.
Winston's mom says display style 1 TFRAC 1 plus SQRT 5 2 1 TFRAC 1 plus SQRT 5 2, which is display style 1 varphi the Greek letter phi, where display style varphi is app 1.618.
Yeah. 1.618 is the golden ratio.
Winston's mom says, how funny.
Right. Okay, so they are back to 138, my friends. And they did that without doing anything crazy. How is that possible? Okay, well, for starters, the volume that brought us up there was pretty insane.
Winston's mom says, I did not expect that when I copied and pasted the formula. Sexy robot voice needs to go to math class again.
I need to fix the title here. I'll put non-farm payrolls, day trading features, 138. Doing that chart that I just did now, a little disappointed, to be honest. I'm a little disappointed. I think what it needs to be is the difference. So you take the total volume and the total number of trades taken at those prices, and then display a profile like that. And it should show you places where there's an imbalance between the number of traders and the volume that's traded, to indicate places where too many retail traders or too many big traders are taking trades from spots. Maybe that would show us something. But that one looked like it was a dead end. It was a thought I had yesterday. I wanted to test it. Didn't seem to work. It looked cool. Sure did look cool, didn't it?
Winston's mom says if you mention you are live streaming, there are people looking for live
Yeah, I
broadcasts.
have that in the title.
They like this community engagement when they are commuting, in class, or eating lunch.
YouTube just doesn't have a very good stuff. I mean, like, you can search by a live stream, but they don't have something that's like, oh, I'm looking to view live streams. What are some live streams that YouTube would recommend to me? They don't show it. I actually made my own, and what I found was that what was shown was kind of embarrassing. It was like Pepper the Pig and stuff like that. And so I think that that's why YouTube doesn't do it. Because the most popular live streams are actually kind of garbage. Not that Pepper the Pig is garbage, but a channel that just shows that is garbage because you can watch that on Netflix or wherever it's streaming these days. 1:30. Not sure what to make of this, folks. The liquidity is a little better. I mean, they're putting 500s up there in a few places now.
Uzi Knesset says possible range extension coming for ZB.
ZB seems to be a little bit more down than the others. No? Well, let's reset this. Oh, ZB went way higher than the others when they touched it. That's why.
Winston's mom says if you put something like astronomy on the YouTube search page, then open filter, you can check live and then scroll through everything they list as live, and you can mark newest.
You can search through it. Man, I'm sweaty. What the heck? Sorry. Now that said, oh, well, the E-mini did go and touch a new low at the top of the hour. That's funny. All of that discussion went through for 45 minutes.
Winston's mom says everyone please hit like for today's live stream. We need to push up speculator Seth's sweaty numbers.
Sweaty numbers. We've been doing good. Should I show you his stats? I think I can show you stats. Looks like I got a couple of replies on some of my threads yesterday. We should check into. Where's the P&L? Oh, I show it. Which one was that? Yeah.
Winston's mom says what was last week's numbers when you had some crazy titles or at the peak of the panic?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me respond to this guy. He asked me, where's the P&L? So that was that guy. I definitely needed to respond to him. Oh, what you win? I didn't even see. You know, I was so busy working yesterday that I didn't like.
Gary Rich says until Seth shows us the rabbit, I will hit the dislike. I'm concerned the rabbit will catch corona.
No, I can't bring the rabbit down. The rabbit is not really. First of all, it's hard for me to go and get her. But then she's got sharp nails and stuff. It's just not. Maybe someday, but it's kind of hard to. Yeah, so there you go. So there's like our numbers. So things have kind of been up a little bit. And what does it say? 49 more than usual. Like more subscribers than usual. This is pretty good. Like the revenue was up too.
Winston's mom says when I first arrived here on YouTube, people were not intuitively using YouTube. Connecting their channels had not been thought of. Now, I am seeing people network I have been sprinkling your name about.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so the E-mini really took a dive there. Man, they really took a dive there. They are... Hmm.
Masiak says hi.
Hey, how have you been? The adaptive CCI. Oh, that's not right.
Winston's mom says I try to be careful where I sprinkle because I wander strange channels in this upside down, here on YouTube in Flatland, and that is way too much pop culture for a Mormon day trader, lol.
That's funny.
Winston's mom says hi and good Friday to you, Masiak. Sebastian Marquez says go sells. Slightly smiling face.
No, let him go.
Uzi Knesset says ZB. Uzi Knesset says Almost their XB.
Oh, look at the way that it's stopping on the outside. Let's see if we should wait for one here. So there was a little bit of a sweep down. Like that. That sweep up. That says, good luck shorting it. Good luck shorting it. Okay, so let's pull up a different chart. This one should be crazy. This one, I'm interested to see what we get out of it. It's gonna take it a bit. Huh.
Gary Rich says I heard a new Corona stimulus plan was coming. It's called Cash for Coughing. Winston's mom says Sebastian, sexy robot voice only gave you emoticon slightly. You will have to up your game to impress her. Speculator Seth has a diamonds or a girl's best friend programmer's brain. Masiak says thank you. I looked yesterday live. Nice trade.
Oh yeah, which one was that? I caught a big winner yesterday, right?
Masiak says thank you at Winston's mom.
I think though my recollection about yesterday though was that it was kind of a wash. So like today I took that short. I took that short in the treasury and that one worked really well, and I think I might just leave it at that. I'm not really getting very good entries in the equities. Okay, so you see that? Oh, so interesting. Okay, so like those right there. I want to see, do they go lower? I'm gonna...
Winston's mom says Gary Rich ROFL. Have you seen the drive-through testing sites in South Korea? Amazing efficiency, and like Seth Meyers said, that's the one thing Americans have perfected, the drive-through. We should. Sebastian Marquez says at Winston's mom 24 5000 se estoy vendiendo desde air.
I need the wrong... I have the wrong kind of data series. I want just boxes. There we go. Okay.
Winston's mom says Zapraszamy Masiak, and I hope I guessed correctly. You thank me in Polish.
Okay, so that one, the stop run is stopped. The stop run, it did turn. It does turn, but it's going for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ticks. I feel like I'm missing something here.
Masiak says smiley face, yes.
So you see that?
Winston's mom
Slow,
says Masiak, do
steady
you know
tick
about
down.
socionics, the personality typing theory that attempts to organize intertype relationships? If so, I am Lee. Do you know your type?
And then fast stop runs up. That kind of suggests to me that they're still down. Although if we get above 29.15 or so, that might flip the volume.
Uzi Knesset says there's our extension.
In ZB. The treasury just no, it was. I thought maybe that they when they had gone higher that it was like a really crazy thing and I had missed it, but I don't think it was.
Uzi Knesset says I collapse ZB now by buying it lol. Masiak says at Winston's mom no, I haven't heard of it.
Hmm.
Masiak says but in Europe coronavirus is spreading disappointed face.
Thought.
Bot says nice breakout overnight above all-time high in ZB there at 177.11.
Yeah. It's just not stopping, man. Seeing some strange behavior in the E-mini though.
Winston's mom says Scaramucci, this could be Trump's Hurricane Katrina and it's easy to see a 15% market correction from here market watch.
Obviously there are people on the news that want it to be that very, very badly, isn't there?
Uzi Knesset says if we all buy ZB and put stops at the low of the day, we can reverse it all. Face with tongue.
Oh, what is the name of the volume of the indicator that tells you how long it's been in a bar?
RJ Wheels says Winston, what was the name of that podcaster you recommended? Started with B.
Still kind of doing it.
Winston's mom says Bo of the fifth column,
Can't
fifth.
find it.
He is on YouTube. RJ Wheel says right. Thanked.
Notice it came right back to 29.15 and bounced. What the hell? Man. I guess he really wanted it there.
Winston's mom says RJ Wheel I have been promoting his channel a bit. Over on the Damage Report and David Pacman. I plan to try on Crooked Media. His channel has such potential and he is a natural.
Huh. We're getting a bit of an increase in volatility here. Really messy here above 29.15. Good deal. Oh, perfect. If I can get 29.25, I'd be extremely happy. I don't know if that's
RJ Wheel says I like Jason Goodman right now. Has Charles Ortle as weekly guest. Clinton Foundation investigator.
Ooh, those runs. Go get him. Go get him.
Lucas says 2 minutes. RJ Wheel says Seth is my #1 YouTube.
Thank you so much. Oh.
Winston's mom says Masiak personality typing is very popular here. In some corporations like Wells Fargo, they type people using MBTI for business. It's a bit like the idea of knowing your astrological sign. Carl Jung.
It's so close. Come on. Just one more push. Oh. Oh, was that not an awesome trade, guys? Holy fetch. That was awesome. This chart that I put down here did not help at all. Actually, maybe it did. Maybe it did because I was able to see that we were like in one of these things, so I knew I could buy it here if it was going to go up. Maybe it will help. It's super interesting to watch, isn't it? Kind of. I think we need to give the other stuff a chance too, though.
Masiak says at Winston's mom, okay, maybe I'll read of it. Winston's mom says Carl Jung and Freud were the friends and colleagues until they differed on dream theory. Carl Jung then traveled the world to organize archetypes and symbology.
Really?
After World War II, we needed to organize.
Okay, so above 29.25,
Lucas says you found the Holy Grail. Lucas says Grail.
Grail? I wish. No Holy Grail. There's no silver bullet in markets, unfortunately. Actually, no, I take that back. There is a silver bullet in markets. It is called the Federal Reserve. Okay, so once again, Ninja Trader is
says
not...
I have a friend who has Jung's red book and refuses to let me borrow it, lol.
I guess I don't have the session set correctly
Winston's
on
mom
this.
says so. Briggs Myers organized Jung's functions into something that would help business. Later, Socionics wanted to be the first Tinder, lol sociology.
There we go.
RJ Wheels says I know Briggs.
That's better. Oh, wait. Wrong. Wrong. Why did it do that? Yes. CME indexes. There, that's better.
Lucas
MES.
says at UZ I can S it, he sounds like in a hole.
CME indexes. Okay.
Winston's mom says Carl Jung's Red Book, wow. I would like to have an illustrated copy. I just haven't gone shopping yet. I listened to Skip Conover's reading group. He is a Jungian, also.
We're gonna
Uzi
switch the
Knesset says
spectacles.
lol. Gary Rich says we just hit 100k Corona, next 150k then 200k. Fix at 38 on its way to 45 futures.
Okay. Oh, look at it go. Some real chaos coming in here. Look at the 10-year.
RJ Wheels says Jungians.
So I'm always a little hesitant to fade the overnight or to go along with the overnight. So like we're opening lower, they're almost always going to try and make a push higher, and here they're doing it. And not only that, but I see a little bit of a domino set up here. So the next spot was 34, 29.34. We're above that. So then we get to 43. And then what do we get above that? 43, 48.
Masiak says at Winston's mom look
51.
at this man at John Brom.
Okay, so we're not to 43 yet.
Winston's mom says speculator Seth you will not have had Corona, the beer, but when you add a lime to a very cold Corona and you are sitting by a pool or on the beach, well, you might give up religion.
Why would
so
you?
Good.
Why would you drink the? You don't want to catch the.
Winston's
why would
mom
you
says
drink that?
googling a John Brom.
I'm like trying really hard not to laugh and be like that was a serious comment, but we all know that I'm being ridiculous, right? 40. Yeah, they're gonna go stop higher. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we should do it like just add volume to it. I feel like I need to see where the trade is actually happening. Volume. Oh, it's failing there now. It was kind of a really messy move down though. Not sure if there's anything to make of that. I didn't add it.
Gary Rich says you will hear it first from me. 10 years hits 0.50%, touches 0.45% in April, May.
How do you get that, Gary?
Lucas says is there a bet on that underscore? Winston's mom says Masiak, thank you for this reference. I am more of a Taoist than closer to any other religion, the Tao of Pooh and Buddha, too, namaste, and do you listen to Robert Thurman Menla House Tibet USA?
That spot right there at 33.75 is interesting. Now look how they're rotating around it. Huh. Pushing higher. It's a really messy spot. That should be a continuation, though. Like, I can put that there. No, I can't put
Gary Rich says the Fed blew its wad with the 50 bits per second cut.
that. Eh. I think the idea that let's see how do I put this. What you're trying to say is that the Federal Reserve cut too
Winston
much or
Smom
too
says,
early,
Lucas, are you a Leo sun, moon, or rising?
and the market is going to ignore them, right? And that the Federal Reserve doesn't have any credibility anymore, and so it makes things worse at that point. I think that's what your thesis is, right? Because I have a problem with that thesis, and that is this. It doesn't matter whether or not the market thinks that the Federal Reserve has credibility or not. The Federal Reserve can put in the interest rates what they want, and that affects the markets regardless of whether
Lucas says at Winston Smom, I don't really know
That's
when.
a lot of money.
I am Libra and in Chinese horoscope as Tiger.
This one I wanted 8. It hasn't given it to me yet. Interesting. Came so close. You know what I need on this.
Masiak says at Winston Smom, no, don't know him, but I am not very involved in such matters. Winston Smom says I am a Libra ascendant. What I read about us is that in negotiations, we often are so determined to be fair that we end up on the losing side of the scale. And that a Libra will have a dimple. Lucas says if we are fair we don't lose, winking face.
Okay, 39 they like. And the way that
Winston
the
Smom
treasury
says lol, from your lips to you know whoever you chooses ears.
Well, the way that the ES is trading is just kind of furious. Oh, what happened here? Oh, I know what's wrong. It's calculating this chart, and so I'm not getting data over here. 35. 5 is probably okay.
Lucas says what happened with S ladder, Seth?
It's just I added my price pivots onto this chart over here, and it's still reloading the data. I need to change it so that it's only trying to load a day. Okay. Now they're falling pretty hard here now. They're coming back to test the open. This chart might be broken. I might have completely busted it.
Gary Rich says yep. It's a global risk off until Corona is known. The 10 years is the new temporary hiding place.
But what I don't understand is, okay.
Lucas says at Winston's mom, I do find true what you said though. Sometimes I will lose lol, but we learn a lot from those negotiations. Well, especially me since I am really competitive lol.
Let's say next Federal Reserve meeting they hold, okay? So they don't reduce the interest rate again.
Masiak says multi-charts WAST have started launched slightly smiling face. Winston's mom says market watch now. A buildup of wagers on recoupling interest rates has tightened the gap between yields in the US versus the German bond market, a proxy for Eurozone debt. Winston's mom says as it is the biggest economy in the 19-member currency bloc.
Oh, it actually closed it. Surprised. Okay, so let's say that they don't actually reduce interest rates. So the Federal Reserve leaves things unchanged at 0.5 or 50 basis points. Let's use basis points, right? Let's say that they leave it unchanged at 50 basis points. And would the 10-year then start to be trading also at 50 basis points, meaning that there's no premium for holding a bond for 10 years? No, I don't think that can happen. Because at that point, it would be within, you would just buy all of the short-term ones and sell the 10 years and hedge them that way. And it would be like free money. There's no way they would do that. And then they would sell the 10-year, and that would bring the 10-year yield back up. So how can they get to 50? And the Federal Reserve would have to reduce interest rates again for us to get to 50 basis points on the 10-year. Frankly, being at 70 basis points is kind of crazy. And you have to start to think, okay, well, if I can get 50 basis points every 2 years, let's say you use a 2-year. You know what I mean? Like the way that the spread works, it's at a certain point it becomes silly. So if we're going to go to 50 basis points, it would have to take a lot longer than that, right, Gary? So what is the time frame for your prediction or guess there? I think that my problem was I put the price pivots on a one range chart, and I don't think it works with it. Because it's going to put a price pivot on everything. I have to close this chart. My bad, I screwed it up. Cool. That freed things up. One range. No tick replay. 1 day. Oh, tick replay was on? Well, that would do it. Well, there they're going to new highs again in treasuries. That one is, you should be able to buy that, right? Up. Up, up, up. How many are they going to get? This is crazy. Okay, that's it. That's the end of it.
Lucas says, when's the S rollover due, Seth? Also, when is daylight saving time going to change again?
I think it
Winston's
changes in
mom
April.
says, I think the tweets are about to begin. The first tweet of this morning is from the staff and simply says, jobs, jobs, jobs. I wish they would turn down the volume on their caps.
Oh, it's
Winston's mom
Sunday.
says, Lucas, Sunday, March 8th.
Sunday. This Sunday. It's not loading it. If I do 1 minute, it's fine. Then I go back to one range. Okay. Just gave me a signal of some sort. Okay, cool. That's back. I need to refresh this. The selling there. What? That does not look right. What the heck? What the what? I think I just broke Ninja Trader. Wait, what the fuck? No. That doesn't count. That one doesn't count, okay? Oh my gosh. Okay. I think that was just because of Ninja Trader. Right? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. They're going down. Hmm. Okay. Hold on for a second.
Masiak says, honestly, as I watched the Democrats debate, the only postulate I liked was to protect health for everyone for free by Bernie Sanders. Lucas says we have it on record.
Nope. This is going crazy.
Uzi Knesset says, free.
Quote unquote free. It's not free. You're paying for it.
Gary Rich says, in a global risk off the bund in 10 years are essentially the safest. More than 10 years safer. Japan signaled stimulus just a short time ago, their print was bad. The USD yen jumped to 112 and fallen since.
Oh. Some big numbers coming up, showing up here now.
Masiak says in UE we have free, and that is good.
Watching the orders come in here is really weird.
Uzi Knesset says no you don't. You pay for it.
You pay for it. You pay for it in Texas. Why do people want to call it free? That's a lie.
Lucas says lol. Uzi Knesset says you pay your premiums through income, sales, and wealth taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Rich says I hope Robinhood fixes DST change lol.
I don't
Winston's
know
mom
if that's
says
what it
Masiak,
really
I have
is.
concerns about Bernie's plan and I listened to several economists, professors. Do you know who Robert Reich is? Or Paul Krugman? Reich has a channel.
Ignore Robert Reich. If there is anybody that I would like completely ignore, it's Robert Reich. Oh my gosh. He is, first of all, he is not an economist. That is such bullshit. He is a media control specialist, is what he
Lucas
is.
says taxes in Europe are really high.
Holding him up as an economist is laughable.
Winston's mom says lol, I knew that would get a reaction.
Paul Krugman is good on some things, but is
Lucas says you need to support that safety
so
net.
biased that his opinion becomes useless. But Robert Reich is just an outright hack. He is literally like the Democrat media machine hitman. Like, you can't trust what he says. Wow. Okay.
Uzi Knesset says EU countries have their own individual healthcare systems. The US is one country, having one healthcare system would be fiscally catastrophic. Winston's mom says Robert Reich does have some clever cartoons on his channel as he explains what he is saying.
Yeah, where do you think he gets all the money for that?
RJ Wheels says wasn't he the little guy on Game of Thrones? Uzi Knesset says if we wanted universal healthcare, a state-by-state system would be more workable. Lucas says true, but overall they are high. Austria has really high taxes, so does Germany.
Yeah, well, the argument is that the taxes would be less than what you pay in healthcare premiums, right? Which is kind of a deceptive argument, right? Because yeah, anything would be
Winston's
cheaper
mom
than
says
what we
he draws
have.
the cartoons on a whiteboard as he talks and I love to draw cartoons but I can't do that.
And anything would be cheaper than the healthcare system that we have. But would it be cheaper than the healthcare system that we could have?
Says yes we all pay, but because everyone does it, the stakes are not high and the profits are much greater. I like this part of socialism. Slightly smiling face.
No. See, what you're doing is... hold on. That's not supposed to do that. See everybody dumped there. Fuck.
Uzi Knesset says you'll hate the part where your governments import millions of people from the third world to burden your healthcare system into the dirt.
Right. Okay.
Lucas says you won't like that part of socialism.
Um The issue
Gary Rich
is
says at Uzi LMFAO. Masiak says we have many EU members such as Bernie Sanders.
healthcare. The socialized healthcare system works, but it's not the best, in my opinion. Because yeah, you can get like, when you have everybody in the same system, then supposedly you can spread the risk out in the pool better, right? But the disadvantage is that you have zero competition, right? So I think about it like, think about the problems I've had with my medication. I finally got my medication yesterday for Lialda, which is like $1,000 for a bottle, literally $1,000 for a bottle. And then we sit down and we say, well, that's absolutely ridiculous. Well, part of the reason that the price is so high is because other countries come in and they say, well, this is all that we're willing to pay for this medication. And so then the company goes and says, okay, well, then we'll just charge the United States more and everybody else less. And so we end up getting the brunt of the cost, right? Because they basically go in and they say, what can they afford to get? And then they set the prices accordingly, which isn't a fair market. So we could come in and we could make legislation that says, well, you can't charge the United States Medicare, more than you charge other countries. And then they would have to even it out, potentially. But then it evens it out, and maybe it's like $500 for everybody. And you say, well, that's not very fair. What can we do? The government should force it to only be a certain amount. And you know what happens? You would think, oh, so then that means that Seth can get his medication for $50 no matter what. No, that's not what it means. It means that they just never developed the medication in the first place, guys, because they can't make enough money to justify the investment on it, right? It's a pretty rare condition. Is just, why would you put that much money into it if you can't make your money back from the price, right? They just don't develop it. And this is the problem with a socialized healthcare system, is that you're trying to control supply and demand by setting prices, and you will get the end result always ends up being shortages. So then you go to the UK and you have to wait months to get in, right? We all know, we've all heard about this one. That's suspicious. Ooh, okay, it did work. Oops. Oops. I'm going to do some crazy shit here, okay, guys? Okay. Because he is hitting it hard. Let me read all these.
Winston's mom says the smartest decision I made was to stay in the military for the retirement benefits. Our family has faced major health surgeries, hospitalizations, prescription needs et al., and I pay $455 a year. Gary Rich says I read Bill Clinton's excuse for his Monica incident, stress was the cause. LMAO. Masiak says, does the government refund the cost of medicine in the US in some parts? Winston's mom says our small town has a factory where they make, pack and ship the bottles that you use for your pills, your medication.
Should have held it.
They can't find people to work.
Holy shit.
Hourly wages are high for here at $12 an hour.
Get
Uzi
gone.
Knesset says the easiest way to tell that universal healthcare is massively flawed is that no one talks about the downsides of it. Only upside. Winston's mom says Masiak in my health care plan, which is called Humana or TRICARE for life, we have a copay for each prescription. About $3 to $8 for a monthly prescription of one medication.
Look, there he is again.
Gary Rich says, sorry Bill Clinton, your Monica excuse is not stress. You can't keep the zipper closed. Married to Hillary, I get it and understand.
Did he
Winston's
say
mom
that?
says 27 watching now. Please hit like. Masiak says okay good. IDK says Gary Rich, what do you do for a living lol, you're donating a fortune on every live stream, ha 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 ha. Winston's mom says Gary Rich. She kept that dress. I often wonder what goes through a girl's head when she is trying to decide if she should keep the dress a president
She
made
kept
history
it?
on.
Oh, absolutely, you keep it or you donate it. Okay, so healthcare. What did we establish? We established that the disadvantage of a socialist healthcare system is that you don't have enough supply because you're not paying the system what it's worth. Because if you did, then the price would go up. And of course, the politicians don't want that, and so they push it down, right? So I say that what we do is we just have a real healthcare system, or where there's real competition. So prevent, you tell them, you have to charge everybody at the hospital the same price. You can't say if you're with this healthcare provider, we'll give you this, and if you're with this healthcare provider will give you this. No, you have to give everybody the same price. Okay. And that price has to be published, like on your website or something like that. Okay. And you have to tell people what the price is for the process before you give it to them. Okay. Now we have a market. Because if I'm going to go and I'm going to have a baby, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, what's the difference between these different hospitals? And because I'm not going to have a deal with the thing. Okay. Because right now, with my healthcare insurance, like, you can't go to every hospital, right? They have deals and you have to go to somebody that's in network. Okay. So, but if it's the price and my healthcare provider says something like, we'll pay X% of it or whatever, but if it's more, then obviously you're going to pay more. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, if I go to the United Healthcare Hospital, then it's going to be like $5,000. And if I go to LDS Hospital, it's going to be like $6,000. And why is this one more than this one? What does the room that you give birth look like? What does the room that you sit in, for 2 days afterwards that they keep you in with your baby? What does that look like? Is it a nicer room? And then it's kind of like shopping for a hotel, right? And the hospital does things, makes their facilities nice to attract customers, right? It's a market. And yeah, it might be expensive, but healthcare is always going to be expensive. But you would have competition. It's a market. Would that be better or worse than the socialized healthcare? Well, you wouldn't have the supply problems. It might be more expensive. I don't know. Here in the United States, I don't know if a socialist healthcare system can actually work in the United States. I really have a hard time believing that you can run an organization that large efficiently. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my rant on healthcare.
Masiak says okay good. IDK says Gary Rich, what do you do for a living lol, you're donating a fortune on every live stream, ha 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 ha.
Did Gary
Winston's
donate?
mom says Gary Rich. She kept that dress. I often wonder what goes through a girl's head when she is trying to decide if she should keep the dress a president made history on. RJ Wheels says wish my ex-wife bought the I was stressed excuse. Winston's mom says she would have, had you also been the president of the United States. Clearly, you need a bigger desk. Winston's mom says RJ Wheel, I sure hope my comment did not read as size matters. I was teasing about status mattering, blush.
Yeah.
Uzi Knesset says pretty sure Seth just never changed his scrolling text.
Yeah, that's what happened, yeah.
Uzi Knesset says I remember the day Gary donated $65.
So we got like $250 from Anthony this morning.
Winston's mom says speculator Seth IDK was teasing you about the Chiron, which always shows Gary Rich's name.
Yeah.
RJ Wheel says either works.
I don't erase it. I just basically show the last 3 donations. And since we don't get donations every day, it'll show donations from previous days, essentially. Okay. This is Okay, fine. We pushed up really hard there, so. Man, the way the flow is coming through here is pretty wild.
IDK says markets are horrible.
Dude, if the E-mini busts up through 43,
Winston's
it's
mom
gonna be
says my husband is
game
tend to frown on my
on.
sending strange men online money. I know you are not
Yeah,
strange, but the idea is understandable.
I,
So I settle
I
for trying to help
understand.
admin style.
I understand. Nope, I don't,
IDK says I will go to the casino, there's a better probability of making some money lol.
I mean, not that I wouldn't love to get donations every day, but I always try and stress that, like, this is just a hobby for me. And so I appreciate when you guys do it, but it's not like you should feel obligated or like, I'm really pushing to get more donations or anything like that. Just the thing that helps our channel more than anything is spreading the word and posting the links and getting the views. That's worth way more than your donations, right? Okay, so we just got a short. Ugh. That's a consolidating range lower. I think they're going to push it down. Damn, I got a terrible price from that stop order.
Gary Rich says Monica is keeping the blue dress. When we get to Mars, she can help repopulate the new presidential species. Winston's mom says IDK craps roulette blackjack the slots. What will you play when you give on day trading and go to the casinos?
Oh, I'm not a casino guy. No. What is this? Why is this red? I made money today, damn it. There we go. Okay. So when I did that, I did not use a stop limit order. I should just be using limit orders. No. Come back. Come back, please. That was a bad trade.
Winston's mom says Gary Rich, I just noticed the puppy in your profile pic. He's adorable. Cuteness overload. What is his or her name? Is this one yours?
I think that was a bad pick, but
IDK says the stop limit is the one that executes when X contracts are traded at price?
yeah.
The volume stop on Jigsaw?
No,
Gary Rich says we can lower healthcare by allowing us to buy plans across state lines. The insurance commission in states are oligarchs.
No. Stop limit just means that when your stop is hit, it puts in a limit order instead of a market order. So that last one, I didn't use the stop limit and I didn't get the price that I should have. Holy shit. That's sweet. He's an insistent mother, isn't he? But this buyer is like, there's like some buying down here that's like not giving up. I think that they're gonna push through them and try and create a stop run. Yeah, like that. Oh, that didn't really create the stop run, did it? Just gonna try again. Give it up, buddy. So does previous support become resistance? Looks like it. Damn it. Whoa, look at the treasury go. Oops. No. Darn. They were pressuring that short so strong, and then they all just gave up. And now he's going to come and push it back down again? Sure what it looks like to me, at least. Okay. Oh, like it did it anyways. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, if these longs pull this off, guys. I know I've said this like 3 times now, but they keep making attempts. We'll see if they do it. If the bulls pull this off, it's going to be crazy. Looks good so far. Let's do that so we don't have happen what happened last time where we're flat-footed. Mm, 35 looks pretty volatile. Hmm. The treasury's giving it up. Get rid of that one so that I can focus on the treasury here for a second. Oh, there was more messages. I'm sorry.
Winston's mom says Flashback Friday the VIX volatility index soared another 23% to its highest level since exactly 11 years ago, March 6, 2009, the day the financial crisis bear market reached its nadir. Winston's mom says the Dow briefly fell below 6,500 points that day. Winston's mom says U.S. oil is down 3.9% Friday to just over $44 a barrel on reports that Russia will not sign up to OPEC's new plan to slash crude output. Masiak says Seth I think that aggressive buyers and sellers on McClare E-mini are not valuable.
Micro E-mini. You mean in terms of a signal? Well, I wasn't trying to You know what? What's happening is I will see a potential setup. The
Masiak
setup
says
that I
on
see right
Jigsaw.
now. Oh yeah, the setup that I see right now is them busting 40. Damn. Should I chase it? Yeah. You're right that the middle column isn't really all that useful, but I've got the space. What else would I put there? Thank you.
Masiak says asterisk micro e mini.
Nope. Comes back too easily, right? Okay, so the E mini is toying around with it, but they backed off for the time being. Oh, don't be like that, baby. Come on.
Jerry is awake says nice trading range so far, but it's outside my risk parameters.
This all sim. Hmm. Hmm. That makes me nervous. That makes me nervous. See that equities, they're threatening it. They come back though. If they're able to take out 45, 44, they take out 44, man. Game effing on. Nope. How do you pick your price? It's so hard. 40 would have been better. They're giving up again. Look at you. You want it to go down badly, don't you? Yeah.
Winston's mom says the Greenback Index is set for its biggest weekly fall since May 2016. The driver is the equity markets and the collapse in U.S. bond yields this week. Kenneth Brew, FX strategist, Societe Generale.
The greenback index. So you're talking about the dollar index, shouldn't that be up? the one that stops me out every time. Okay. Nope. That one too.
RJ Wheel says, well, have a good weekend, guys. Off.
Pretty impossible to predict for that kind of a time frame, right? It's getting really volatile here.
Winston's mom says, happy weekending, RJ Wheel.
This one's telling me to sell again. I don't know about that.
RJ Wheel says, ILLCHRCK those guys. Give.
I mean, the treasury's coming down though. Treasury's saying down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I think that this is the one. Aha.
Gary Rich says, Seth, on that chart of S, can you add a VWAP?
I'm really hesitant to add anything to that chart because when I did, it was like breaking, right? Because it's a one range chart, it's pretty aggressive. Oh, that sucks that that didn't fill. Okay, go get it. Go get it. Ooh, the treasuries are getting a little wild. I was thinking about doubling on that one, but it wouldn't have filled anyways. Okay, come on. Little bit more. Little bit more. Okay. Okay. Boom. Yep, I told you. Really? The treasuries went up on that one, huh? Well, that don't make much sense to me at all. So these tend to run. Go, 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 go. 50 back to 20. Well, let's see, we're 29.49. There's going to be this 2950 area is going to be a lot of profit taking probably. Sweet. Hmm. The thing that made me buy that was that outside bar thing that we'd been talking about earlier. You had an outside bar going up to the high and then it come back and then maybe 30 minutes later they come back and take it out again. Good move. Like it's still going. But I got 100 out of it, so I should take it. Oh, now you moved down, huh? Come on, come on, come on. Holy shit. Oh my god. Whoa! That was nuts. I've never that was exciting. Do you see that move? Holy shit. Get wrecked, shorts. Fuck you guys. That was awesome. Crazy.
Winston's mom says lol.
If I can, I need to take a picture of it for him. That was awesome, man. Now the treasury is retracing that back through quite a bit.
Masiak says
So.
UFFI was made misclick for sell but was back and I out with 3 ticks. UFF.
Man. In the treasury?
Winston's mom says do you need to stand up and move around, take a drink of something?
Probably.
That was quite a ride. Vroom.
I mean, maybe I should quit right there. Look at my profit window. 425. I'm really happy with my read on the treasury on that one, and that just like was way better than I thought it was gonna be. Like, holy crap! Holy crap! That was awesome! Oh, that makes me so excited.
Masiak says we wait for correction on S. Winston's mom says nice. What a cool way to start your weekend.
Yeah. Oh, you are right.
Masiak says yes, I agree, good job. Winston's mom says I am looking out of my window with a tiny napping Mika ferret on my lap and it's getting darker and darker. Given the tornado we just had over in Nashville, I should check in on the weather station.
Okay, learn something valuable here. It's the increase in volatility that fails that matters. It's like there's some real crazy happening here, and then it comes up and it fails, and then 30 minutes later it comes up and it goes through. That is the one.
Gary Rich says what happens if Seth makes 1,000, heart attack. Yikes.
No, I think the 400 is just on sim, of course, is just going to be good enough for me. You know what though? Like, how do I put this? I've been trading the E-mini, and it's like I'm trying to take an 8-tick stop, and I'm trying to practice this stuff. And today it turned out, and I'm really happy about it. But the truth is that in this situation, I would much rather trade the treasury. So much more. I mean, it moves a bit, but I can still take a tight stop on the E-mini, or sorry, on the 10-year treasury, ZN. I can still take a tight stop on ZN, and the signals that I get are like really, really reliable in some situations. And so I said to myself, well, I should just, I'm doing sim all over anyways. I mean, and I want to keep practicing the E-mini, but I should really be taking advantage of this in the 10-year to show you guys that, you know, the great signals that you can get in this kind of situation. And it really, really worked out well that time, right? I mean, that was like a blatantly obvious signal too, right? Somebody stacks 1,000 on the offer. Well, it wasn't they stacked it. They stacked 500 on the offer, right? And it made it to be like 1,500, which is significantly more than anywhere else. And then you just sell below it, and there was a good stop run off of it. It was great. Okay, now all that said, this is coming back pretty good. So they might come back. They're going to probably test this 40 area again and see if they hold it.
Masiak says guys watched live with delay. Sorry for the delayed comments in the chat.
No, you're fine.
It is only now that I am able to watch it with a delay of about 1 minute, slightly smiling face.
That's weird.
Winston's mom says Masiak, that's perfectly fine. I am learning that everyone watches on different devices or platforms, and once we all hang out a bit, we find the rrhythm of the chat room and how the comments stop.
Because on ultra low latency,
now I realized that I was watching with delay.
You don't get, yeah. Where did I buy that ES one that I got $100 on? 29.33.
Bots says lol, ZN 30-year just gave up a 3-point move down off the 180.19 high in the hour since NYSE opened.
The move down was so crazy.
Winston's mom says Masiak up top over the chat room. Do you see the top chat or live chat? Top chat is the default setting and this will delay to remove certain comments. It's a safe setting for dirty words.
So I think that this is actually more useful than we realized. So like here was 910. Yeah, here it is right here. Here's the low. So I'm wondering what can we see here that might tell us that this was going to be a hammer. Okay. So there was a cluster here and then increase in volatility. Okay. So this right here is the expansion that we want to see, right? And then it came back up here.
Masiak says I click pause because I had a call, later a play again and that's why. Slightly smiling face.
So you see that, and then right here was the stop run. So if we're trying to do it on microstructure, I think that's the pattern that we're looking to see. Is increase in volatility, failure, stop run the other way. Make sense? So then let's see if we catch it again. That was the run. Okay, right here. Here it is right here. Here was the one that I took. Okay. Increase in volatility. Stop run higher. Failure, stop run higher. Increase in volatility. Failure, stop run the other way. That's the microstructure that I think I'm looking for. And the macro structure that I'm looking for is a significant position the other way. So here in this particular case, there was this run right here. And you can see pretty wide bars here. This one, pretty wide bars. Okay. So here it is. Increase in volatility. Failure. Stop run the other way. And then here then when they come in and they test this guy, it's the same thing. Increase in volatility. Failure. Stop run the other way. So now that we have that failure on this side, we should expect, or place the bet at least, that they're going to come. So we would want to buy it like right here at like 29.20 on the expectation that when they come back through, this is about 30 minutes, this right here. We want this to be about 30 to 40 minutes. 30 to 40 minutes, which means that the positions are still there. Goodish. That's what we're looking for. That's what I've been trying to trade. Now that I'm seeing some of this stuff, maybe I can pick it up a little bit better. Or maybe I just told you everything and you guys are going to screw it up for me now every time. Now on the treasuries, whew, that was just like awesome order flow signals. Awesome order flow signals. That's all there is to it.
Bots says switch that 5-minute chart to a 1-minute chart and plot the outer edges of the first 30 minutes after the NYSE open.
So this one here is my 1-minute chart. Plot the outer edges of the first 30 minutes after the NYSE open.
Gary Rich says Seth, you found a pattern with your signal. Keep at it. Keep waiting for that pattern to develop.
There you have it right there. Oh, interesting. So this initial push right here was actually a failure to extend up to that. But you're right, it was a break of the opening range. Is that what you wanted me to see, John? This was another. So here's another clue that I'm starting to notice is that when these situations happen.
Bots says use those extended lines you can access with the F4 key.
Oh, sure.
Bots says to plot the outer edges.
You mean that? Oops. Oh, you mean you want me to draw the expansion to well, where is the probably here. But I don't know where the lines would actually go. It could be down in here. Is that what you're talking about? So you're just trying to get me to draw the expanding range? Or you could just do this. That's the that definitely ended up being a significant level. It's so satisfying when you're like, there's going to be a run right here, and they go through and it just goes. Oh, it feels so good. You should just if the oh well he did send me a chart. What did he have drawn? Oh, he's got it from somewhere else though, from a previous day. See, here it is right here. I think it's there. And
Bots says we can do this sometime when you're not streaming, but look at the screenshot I sent you in PM.
yeah, well, I'm looking at that one and I'm just trying to see where you have lines, and I do see you've got lines on there, but I don't think I can see far back enough from where it's coming from. I think that you've kind of got something going like this. Because here you have the pattern again, right? Here it is. Consolidation. Increase in volatility. Failure, failure. Stop, run higher. Which means that it can continue for quite a bit. But it sure is being volatile.
Bots says I sent you an RTH chart.
Okay, let me see.
Gary Rich says when it keeps higher highs and higher lows, the minor trend is put in. Opposite to the downside.
Well, every study that I've done, are you talking about this one?
Bots says you're trying to find it on a full session chart.
Yeah. Oh, I see where you're. I see what you're doing. What you're talking. What you're trying to do. What you're trying to show. You're saying 43.50. This one right here. Back to. Where do they cross? Oh no. Chart didn't like that. You're talking about this one, right, John? So we drew it from that inside bar right there to there. And then from here to, I don't know where that one is coming from, but. Seeing some weird behavior there on the DOM.
Bot
That
says
might
right.
just be because That might just be because my Ninja Trader is goofed up again. Okay, well, it's 8:47. I should quit. So that was awesome. It did pretty good. I'm especially happy this is Friday. Of course, all this noise. There's also, where was it? This right here? Wasn't supposed to happen. I made a misclick of sorts. So could have been even better. And these, well, these are just going to happen with the way that I'm trading. This is why it's like I don't think that you would want to trade it. But because we got the 100, it ended up working out quite well. And then that one was awesome. This one, where was the one? Oh, yeah, this one right here. Oh, that was great too. Man.
Bot says so you're looking for price to take out one side or the other of that initial broadening formation.
Right. But the thing that I'm trying to get to explain to you is that I believe you can predict when it's going to do it more accurately. And it's the same pattern that you're looking for, but you can see it on the microstructure, right? Here it is. Here's your inside area. Here's the
Gary
expanding
Rich
range.
says Seth draw horizontal lines across the opening range. Don't use a protractor angles. Winston's mom says thanks speculator Seth, exciting and you did well. Happy weekending, try to get some sleep. Remember this is daylight savings time this weekend. And please hit like.
You get this. And then the stop run higher. So it's where you see a volatility increase that fails to move. And then they come back into the consolidation area. They go the other way. And then I think even, so let's go back to the other one, because I think that was a little bit more clear. Because that was like the real reversal. 8. It was like a 8, right? Yeah, down in here. Yeah. Okay. Consolidation range. Increase in volatility. Failure. Stop run higher. And then what you want to see is you want to see them come back. Something that makes it even more reliable is that they come back and then that becomes support. So you could buy it right here. That one's not always going to happen. From my back testing, if you wait for that one, you get significantly less trades. So that only happens like 50% of the time. But in this particular case, I guess you might have had that too. But overall, it was good, right? So you should be able to, I mean, you can see it on the one range chart, but if you're sitting there watching the DOM, you should be able to see it happen and you can say, okay, I can see this outside bar here. I think that it's going to be taken out, and then start looking for that microstructure to try and take it. But again, might not always do it that way. Seems so far since we've been looking at it, it's pretty consistent, at least. Even in the crazy market, but in the crazy market, you kind of hard to take. Okay, so did I miss anything? No, nothing after Gary. Okay, well, thank you guys. Great session. Hopefully, we get this microphone fixed. I'm so disappointed. I wanted it. It could be like right here. Oh, would have been so great. See, wouldn't that have been so great, guys? I'm so disappointed. Hopefully he lets me return it. If not, I'll have them repair it. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, markets chill out a little bit. In the meantime, stay profitable.